how to use the copy barb function from the slides. So when you click on the copybarb.py link from the Sakai site, it'll take you to this online directory where you can download the code. So you want to right click on the file. If you're on a Mac, you do control click, and you want to download the copybarb.py file, and you just do that by doing save link as. And you want to save it wherever you've been saving your files in this class. I have been saving mine in CSCI 115, so wherever you save them, you may need to navigate to find that folder. So save the file. And then you want to open up JES, and in JES we're going to open copy.py. So go to File, Open Program, and we're going to open, I need to navigate to CSCI 115, and I'm going to open the copybarb.py. Okay, be sure you right click and save as, and don't open it in the browser and save it. That can insert some wacky characters and it may not behave correctly. So here's our copy barb. It's slightly different because the file that we're getting the canvas from and copying to is the 640 by 480.jpg, which is different from the blank canvas that's used in your slides, and that's just because the current version of the media sources doesn't have that file. So if you download it, it should work fine. So here's our copy barb. We want to load the program so that we can run it, and then before we run it we need to set the media path, and that's just because our program, our function here, is going to look for barber.jpg and 640.480 by 480.jpg in the media sources folder. So before we can run it, we want to do set media path, and that'll just let us navigate in our folder to the media sources folder. So you want to click on the folder name. So if you're inside the folder, you need to back up and click on the folder itself and click choose. So wherever you've saved your media sources with all of the files from the textbook, the image files, go ahead and choose that. And then now, as long as I've loaded my program, I can go ahead and run copy barb. So I run copy barb. And remember, it's just copying all of the pixels from the barb image onto the canvas. Let me move this here so you can see it. So here we can see it's shown Barbara, which is our original file, and then this is our canvas that it copied onto, and it copied it into position 00 of our canvas. So it's just looping over all the pixels and getting the color value and copying them. Now, if we want, we can copy the image onto a different location on our target. So I'm going to change this like we did in the slides to 100, 100 and see what happens. Load the program. And then I'm going to run copy barb again. Remember, you can hit the up arrow on your keyboard to rerun a function. I don't need to set the media path again. Once I've done that, through the entire time that I'm running JES, the media path is set. So I hit enter, and now it's going to copy barb, and if I look at my media sources, now it's gone over 100 pixels and down 100 pixels. So I can copy it to a different location. Now, if I want to make this even more flexible, I'm going to pass in a starting point. So I'm going to pass in start X and start Y. And then instead of using 100 here, I'm going to use start X and start Y. So then now I load the program. So now I can't run it like I did before. Now it's expecting me to pass a start X and a start Y to it. So I'm going to call copy barb, and I'll pass it 50, 150. Ooh, not 15, 150. Okay, so I'm going to pass it my start X and my start Y, and I'm going to hit enter. And now if I look, it went over 50 pixels and down 150. So now I can copy barb wherever I like by adding these parameters that make our function more flexible. And so now for the hands-on part, what you want to do is delete barb here. So we're just going to be writing a generic function, and you're going to add two parameters here that are the source file and the target file. So, and now instead of specifying this specific file, barbara.jpg, you're going to put the variable name in there for the get media path, and instead of Barbara, it'll be whatever the source file name is, and same for the canvas. And then what you will do is you can then call copy, so you'll be calling it as copy, and then you'll pass it a source file name like beach.jpg, for example, and then you can go ahead and use this 640 by 480 as your blank canvas if you want, and as long as it's big enough, and then you'll pass it like 50-50 or wherever you want to put it on your canvas. So add those two parameters to your copy barb up here, the names of the files, and then change these calls to get media path so that they're using those variables instead of those file names. Don't put them in quotes, and then run it with an example like this using one of the files like beach.jpg or something else. So give that a try, and good luck.